With the edge here, we consider this more of a youth style bow, traditional youth bow. What is our draw lengths on this, and how do you change it, and what is our maximum minimum pound rating on these?
On the edge, you have a module that's built right onto the cam. It's a rotating module. It adjusts from 18 to 28 inches in half-inch increments. You simply take out 2 screws, rotate the module to the draw length setting that you want. It's marked here. This one's set at 24 inches. You set the modules for the draw length you want, put your screws back in, you're ready to go.
One thing that I just noticed that you said there, half-inch increments. A lot of the other ones that I've seen are inch increments, so you can actually fine-tune this more to the shooter.
Sure.
And what type of poundage ratings are we looking at here with this?
On the edge, you can get it in 29, 30, 40, and 50 pounds. And then on the cutter, which we'll go over here a little bit, you can get that in 20 and 29 pounds.
And this one also has the limb exchange program that we talked about earlier.
Right. The edge and cutter both have what's called a diamond exchange. It's a limb exchange program where if the child or the woman or young man or whatever it is, if they outgrow the draw weight, they can take the bow back to their dealer, and suggested retail on the retrofit is $44.95, where we'll swap out the limbs so they can keep shooting the same bow for a minimal cost.
At that time, when you swap out a limb on this, do you typically keep the same cams? Do you change the strings, or how does all that work?
Everything stays the same except for the limbs. I guess the pro shop could change the strings, but if they're in good shape, there's no need to change them. Really, the only thing that needs to be changed to change the draw weight is the limbs.
Okay. Now, I notice on this model here that we've got the hostage capture rest. Actually, this is the Pro line, and you actually have what they call the Hostage and then the Hostage Pro, which this is. What's the difference between the two?
The Hostage Pro, which we have here, has a completely machined aluminum housing. It has vertical and horizontal adjustment. It's a little bit different type system than our regular Hostage. Brushers are a little narrower, a little bit softer. They're adjustable for size. You can shoot bigger fat aluminum arrows or really small, like axis-sized shafts through this. On the regular Hostage, it's you could shoot the smaller ones, but you had to be careful because it could fall off the bottom brush. This housing is also a little bit bigger than the regular Hostage, so it accepts big shafts with blazer vanes.
Okay.
Blazers are really popular right now. They're a very high-profile vane. The regular Hostage, which we don't have here, has a nylon housing. It is a little bit smaller, so sometimes shooting bigger arrows with blazers are an issue, and the brushes are not adjustable for arrow size. So.
Okay. And if you get into that, if you're shooting something that is a fatter shaft, you could conceivably compromise speed there if it's really tight on it.
Yeah, if it's touchy. You really don't want the top brushes to touch the arrow. They're there for containment if the bow's tilted, or if the wind blows the arrow or something, that doesn't blow it off the bottom brush.
That's what I've noticed about this style with the 3 brushes that I really like versus one of the other models, is the fact that you can shoot quick spins through it, you can shoot the blazers, what have you, but it's grasping the shaft of the arrow, and when it passes through, the vanes aren't catching on the brushes, right, like some of the other models do.
Yeah, you have complete fletching clearance. You don't touch anything when an arrow's shot. So.
Not compromising any speed.
Speed or noise.
Noise, that's another thing to consider too. Now, you'd mentioned the cutter. Basically the same style, a couple subtle differences with it?
Yeah, the cutter, basically it's the same bow as far as the geometry of it. It comes with a black riser instead of the camel riser. The edge comes with an accessory pack with a quiver and a rest and sight, where the cutters just comes as a bare bow. The cutter also is available in 20 and 29 pound peak weights, and the edge is available in 29, 30, 40, and 50. So.
Okay, so you're stepping down one notch for the smaller entry level.
You're talking probably 8 or 9 years old when they're going to start getting into the cutter. Because you can take a 20-pound model and back it down to roughly 10 pounds, 10, 12 pounds. So, a pretty small guy or gal could shoot that draw weight, an 18-inch draw length. Or if they're too small for the 18-inch draw length, we also have what's called infinite mods. These are, you can take the regular module off and put these in its place, and there is no set draw length. I mean, you can draw it back to 12 inches, 15 inches, 16 inches, or whatever. It's really neat if you have a group of kids that want to share the same bow and you're not wanting to change the draw length over all the time. You can let all of them shoot the same bow, and everybody basically fits that. And then if one of the kids wants to shoot that bow, for good, then you can take these back out, put the other ones back in, and set it for their draw length. So it's kind of a convertible system, if you will.
What I've noticed with this, a lot of the schools in the area here have the Archery in the School program. They're using one of the other manufacturers' models, but this is basically the same style or same setup to be able to allow people to use that and have that flexibility.
Right, real similar. One of the, I think, key features of this one is that it is convertible. You can have one or the other and all in the same bow.
How hard is it to swap out the module system?
It's real simple. You take out 2 screws. Instead of rotating the module, it just slides right off. You slide the new module in and put the 2 screws back in. It
can't be any simpler than that.
About anybody can do it in their workshop.
Okay. Now, we've actually talked about the Hostage Pro, the Octane line here. Do you have other products that you offer besides bows and the rest there?
We do. Octane is a new brand under the Bowtech division. We offer the 2 rests, the Hostage and Hostage Pro. We have a 1-piece quiver and a 2-piece quiver that's a quick detach, and we also offer 3 different stabilizers in the line.
So a person can conceivably come in and get their whole bow set up with all your products and not have to worry about mix and matching from one manufacturer to the other of different systems.
Pretty much. We've pretty well got it covered.
That's good. That's what we like to hear. All right, well, if you guys would like to see more of these, you can check out their website. And you can find their website on our website, www.upnorthjournal.com. And be sure to check out the podcast. As always, we're going to be continuing to cover our youth line and youth bow review throughout the summer and into the deer hunting season. Hopefully, we're going to get some kids out into some tree stands this year and hopefully arrow a couple deer. And that's where it all begins, is with the kids. Just remember that. So get those kids out in the field, as always. Here from the Up North Journal, remember, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe.